Says water tankers will be made available to all areas affected by infrastructure maintenance work from today until Wednesday. The maintenance by Randburg will affect the Eikenhof and Zwartkopies bulk water supply systems, which supplies water across the city of Johannesburg. Residents may experience poor pressure to no water during the maintenance period. Affected Johannesburg water systems include Soweto, Randburg, Roodepoort, Lenasia, Garderns, the Commando system, which comprises of Brixton, Hursthill and Crosby, Aeroton and Naturena. We're now joined via video link by Johannesburg Water Spokesperson Nombuso Shabalala to give us an update. Nombuso, a very good afternoon to you. I mean, this is another major maintenance exercise, isn't it? Just give us the purpose behind this latest maintenance.
Good afternoon, Unati, and good afternoon to your viewers. This is a very critical maintenance by Randburg, which is our bulk supplier. So Randburg is doing maintenance at its Eikenhof and Zwartkopies systems. And as you mentioned in your intro, it's going to affect large parts of the city. So residents will be affected by a combination of low water pressure to no water. The purpose or the objective of the maintenance is to improve plant reliability, availability, and improve the overall infrastructure of our water infrastructure in Gauteng and in Johannesburg.
Just give us the timelines. How long will it take for the systems to be fully recovered and for normal water services to return?
So the maintenance concludes on Wednesday, the 2nd of July. And so what typically happens is that our systems, Johannesburg water systems, will take 2 to 5 days to fully recover. So the systems do take time to recover. So after the maintenance is completed, it'll take a minimum of 2 to 5 days for the system to fully recover and for water supply to be restored for the affected residents.
So in other words, not everyone is likely to receive water or have water fully recovered by Wednesday?
Yes, that's very likely. So some residents may, however, some it may take a couple of days. Hence, we have been encouraging Johannesburg residents to store water ahead of this maintenance, just to make provision for after the maintenance is conducted.
Will water tankers then also continue to be delivered in all of those days that are likely to continue? Because at the moment we know that after the 24-hour period, the first batch of water tankers will then be delivered. Will it continue throughout?
Correct. So the provision of alternative water supply will continue up until all our systems have fully recovered. We are working with ward councillors for all the affected suburbs and areas, and being in constant communication with them. They do advise us in terms of if they still need water tankers or if the water tankers need to move to other areas. But to answer your question, yes, the water tankers will be available up until all systems have fully recovered.
On a long-term perspective, Nombuso, how effective has this maintenance work been on this province-wide infrastructure upgrade? We understand, of course, it started in May. I mean, given that one would likely want to see a shorter and more isolated maintenance work, speak to us about what you're currently uncovering during this program of maintenance, and how likely are we to see a more healthier line in terms of just the supply of water?
So Randburg conducts major planned maintenance on a yearly basis. And so in terms of seeing benefits, that will be long term. However, over and above this maintenance by Randburg, Johannesburg Water also does its own maintenance, which is a combination of planned and unplanned maintenance across various systems in the city. So a combination of Randburg's major maintenance, including our own maintenance as Johannesburg Water. We are hoping that in the long term, medium to long term, we will see a difference in terms of water interruptions, for example, when our systems recover and systems improve.
And what are you worried about? What are your major concerns as Johannesburg Water, given that the systems are still at a stage that is not really ideal?
So I think what we are worried about, as you would know, Unati, is that we do have aged infrastructure in the city, and such maintenances by Randwater do assist us in some way in terms of addressing those issues we have with our aged infrastructure. Combined with the fact that we also do our own maintenance. So we do think this is much needed maintenance, which in the long term will help us in terms of us addressing the issues of our aged infrastructure in the city of Johannesburg.
Is funding also a problem?
Not necessarily in this maintenance, but the City of Johannesburg, the mayor recently presented the budget of the city, and a budget has been allocated to our entity as Johannesburg Water. So budget is not a huge problem at this stage, as provision is being made.
All right, Nombuso, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Nombuso Shabalala is Johannesburg Water spokesperson, just giving us an update there in terms of this maintenance work.